Estamos aqui, estamos de novo e agora estamos no Facebook e no YouTube. Bem-vindos a mais um hashtag Chá das 5 do Tio Rô. Aqui hoje pelo StreamYard, distribuindo para o nosso Facebook, nosso YouTube. Daquele lado de lá, temos o nosso Instagram avisando, vem para cá, hoje a gente está no Facebook. Enfim, guys, hoje eu vou falar inglês aqui, vai ser meio, mas muito inglês, porque hoje nós temos um convite, eu tenho o Red Carpet do Dance Reunion. Lá nos anos 80, anos 90, as nossas gringas brasileiras, nossas brasileiras de alma, brasileiras de samba, brasileiras de ziriguidum, e que não nasceram no Brasil, mas dominaram a nossa cultura, os nossos palcos, os nossos eventos aqui em Londres. Então, por isso, tecla SAP. Hello guys, let's do it in English. Sorry for my accent, but that's gonna be tonight. English, Brazilian English, French English, Portuguese English, and British English on this live stream. Welcome to my Chá das 5 do Tio Rô. It's a project that I started last year on the beginning of this pandemic situation to distress myself, to bring my friends to change experience and talking about a lot of stuff. And then we realized that we were 1 year going on. And now I am doing this project here on live streams with the Brazilians and everybody who makes a move, makes a bust on the Brazilian society in London. Saying that, I am a dancer, former, and I bring lots of formal dances as well to show us or to exchange experiences, journeys, how it started everything back to 80s and 90s. I have started with Cidinha, with Xavier, with Simone. Zaza is coming tomorrow, but we also gone through the second part with Maite, Padilha, the other Simone, and a lot of Solange. And then, of course, we have to talk about Magda. And tonight, we are bringing a big cast. Tonight, I have a pleasure to share my live screen with Cristina Medeiros, Sharon, Chris, Nicole, Baya, Liliana, Bettina, and here we go. The first ones are here already. We're gonna start. It's gonna be like a Piccadilly Circus where we meet up, we come, we go, grab a drink, talk about our history. So the three ones are already here. I have the pleasure to talk to me and talk to you guys. Sharon Bannister.
Ai, oi, tudo bem?
Tudo bem? Como tá esse português?
Assim, né?
Maravilhoso. Sharon, thank you very much for coming, for your being free and be understanding about the change of the date and being up to it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Pleasure.
I have another beautiful friend of mine that I have long time we don't see each other because she doesn't live in London anymore. Here we go, Mrs. Baya.
Hello.
Thank you, Baya. Bonne nuit.
Bonsoir.
And also, I have another beauty of France that sparkle all over London's stage. And here we go, Mrs. Bettina.
Hello.
Yay! Guys, thank you very much. And very soon is going to be joining us Liliana, Christina, Chris, and for the last is going to be Nicole. Her baby's going to go to sleep very soon, so then she's going to be free for us. How can I start that? Let's do it. Hold on a second. Christina is just asking, colocou o link. Baby, é o mesmo. It's the same one. Just click and come. Ao vivo. Live is
Click and come.
Maya, how is it you doing work now, isn't it? Are you currently on work? Do you want to go come back.
No.
You done.
I switched my time, especially to be with you guys. I couldn't miss being with you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. So you're free for us.
Yes.
Guys, so let's start with Miss Sharon. Miss Sharon,
Hello.
I heard a lot of things about you. I saw many pictures, amazing pictures on that very early moments of you with London School of Samba and other groups. How did it start? And how a beautiful British lady came up with these feathers and these sequins? Why? What happened?
Okay, I joined the London School of Samba when it was run by Brazilians, and the batucada was amazing. And I'd been living in Portugal, and I hung out with Brazilians, so I knew about Brazil and samba, and I wanted something authentic. But when I came to the dance, there was a little bit, but it wasn't so Brazilian style. It was more. It'd been sort of changed slightly to Caribbean, West, and so I thought, oh no. And then somehow I was actually managing a Brazilian band called Samba Tucada. And through that, I met Elias, who was over. They were doing a show in Berkeley Square with Beija Flor.
Oh
And
my God, my school of samba.
they quickly showed me how to do a pom pom, like a bum, plumes.
Oh yeah, the backstage, the back piece.
Just quickly. And they did it on like an envelope. And that's when I started making costumes. And so I started my group. And we used to support the Passistas. We just used to support as Passistas and to warm up the crowd for Samba Tucada. That's how
Samba Tucada, one of the first groups we had here.
So that was with Alan Heyman, Pato Fuentes, his brother, Liliana. Amazing. It was a really good fun time. So we were sent out to warm up the crowd, before they started playing. And that's how my group started.
There is another one just came up now to join us, the beautiful Cristina Medeiros.
Oh, Chris.
Hello, Chris.
Thank you, Cristina. But Sharon, tell me, if you started to put the feathers, set all the feathers, glue it, preparing and organize the passista, but you being passista as well.
Yeah.
From London School of Samba and the Samba Tucada.
Yeah. Yeah. And I managed the band as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're a good player, you're a good drummer.
No. I used to manage the band. I organized.
Oh, you manage the whole thing.
Yeah. Because I was elected as public. I want to say in Portuguese, public relations.
Public relations. RP. Relações Públicas.
Yeah. I was. Sorry. I was elected.
Everybody's quiet, and I can still hear you talking. I don't know why.
It can be a delay on your screen.
Is it on this, you think? Is it on a computer? Should I try the...
When you were trying before, it was okay, no? Oh, look, we have another one now. I just arrived. My beautiful baby here, Chris Graham. Where is she? Technical issues. Chris.
Yeah,
hello.
Hello, Chris.
Can you hear, Chris?
Yes, darling.
More or
The
less.
sound is really bad.
Oh my God.
No, it sounds really good. I've got really good
Yeah,
sound.
for me as well. But I'm using this. It's helping maybe.
Try, Chris, if you find your earplugs, the headset. If you have one, to plug it.
I'm going to get them now.
All right, darling. I love it. So, Sharon, I have some beautiful people here watching us and sending lots of love. I have Giovanni Pasquale.
Giovanni.
I have Rose,
Rosa, yay!
Simone Pereira.
Simone.
Oh,
I have Carlos
oi, amor, tudo
Fonseca.
bem? Ai.
Beautiful guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Sharon, when you found that you being a little bit hooked up about this culture, when you realized that you was like all over samba, because nobody comes halfway.
No,
Either we
oh
don't
no,
like
no, you
it
don't.
or we love it, isn't it?
Yeah. I was living and working in Portugal, having a great life, and I had a terrible riding accident. So I couldn't really walk very far. But when I got back and walking, I just craved Brazilian culture. And I didn't realize how much I missed it from my Brazilian friends. And one day I was walking in Covent Garden and I heard Batucada. And I was with my Chilean boyfriend at the time. And I just went crazy. I said, we've got to go there. I've got to find out where this is. I have to go. And he just looked at me like this. What is going on with this woman? And that's how I got hooked and started, going into the London School of Samba. But I wanted to take it further because, as I say, the Brazilian, Bosco was the directoria, and he was fantastic. And I just wanted to bring the level up of the costumes and dance. So from that little example, eventually I was invited to go to the Baracão of Beija-Flor. I was the only British woman allowed in the Baracão. And
Why did you get it? How did you get it there?
Because I helped Elias, the right-hand person of Joãozinho de Beija-Flor. And they wanted to stay and do more culture, so I helped them stay. And he saw that my enthusiasm and sincerity, because my aim was to promote Brazilian culture to a level where everybody could work together as a team. So when I did the group Alegria, it was like an umbrella. So that when the Masters of Capoeira came on, I was the one that was promoting them when nobody had heard of Capoeira, or a band would enter the show. We'd do a big show of an hour. So really to promote Brazilian culture, it didn't matter who it was, but just to promote Brazilian culture as a really good, at a really good level. Yeah. And to protect Brazilian dancers, protect Brazilian musicians, because I had contracts drawn up properly by a lawyer so that they were really protected,
And in London, what was the first gig you done? The first step up in the stage?
Oh, it was big, scary. Princess Anne, Dorchester Hotel.
You started like that, just like that.
With Samba Tocada as the live band. And I mixed ballet dancers and contemporary dancers with Brazilian dancers. So the ballet dancers gave discipline and taught other things, and the Brazilians taught ginga, like how to move and groove. And so I'd have to do marcation in numbers for the professional ballet dancers, and by phrases or phraseology for the Brazilians, which is hysterical because when you're doing a lighting script for the tech, for the Dorchester, for instance, I had all this whole thing. I looked at it now. I looked at some of my old notes. I thought, how on earth did I do that? Cueing people, agora, it's like.
This was one of your most exciting gigs you did.
No, there's been some exciting times. We did a lot of community work as well. But for me, it was exciting going to Brazil for the first time in the Baracão, learning about arame, the wire work. They had paraplegics working. They included the whole community, and I was trying to bring that kind of atmosphere back to London.
And we are talking about 90 or 80s. How was
80s, 1987, 1988, 1989. And then I carried on. And as I got, the group became more established, I stepped back from the front because there were fabulous dancers. I didn't need to participate, and I was too much making costumes and organizing. So I do characters like Carmen Miranda. I got a very, very good write-ups for being Carmen Miranda, so that I would warm up the room as that before the show started, if you like.
So this is gonna be the topic of the night. Let's talk about Carmen Miranda. We want to find out who was the first Camiranda personification in London? Because in my generation, I'm the second, maybe the third generation of dancers in London. It was Liliana. Liliana Martins was doing Camiranda all over, blah blah blah. But we knew that Sharon was a
And
long time
Chris
Camiranda,
Medeiros.
and Cris Medeiros as well.
Chris Medeiros. I say
And Karina as well, Karina Rebelo.
Karina Rebelo,
Yeah,
de Padilha.
yeah, Padilla.
But before, I think 80s was Cristina Sharon.
Probably there was someone before, yeah.
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 It was. I think it was Chris and I used to, but I think also Chris might be just
Yeah.
before me. I think.
She's gonna be back. She'll be back. She's got some. She's trying to log on the computer,
Okay.
and Chris is also coming back. I want to go with. Oh, she's here, Chris. How is it?
Yeah.
How is it sound now for you, Chris? Cristina.
Oi, tá falando comigo? Tem outra Cris aqui também, né?
Yeah. Sorry, have to be Cristina and Chris. Cristina and Chris.
Okay, no problem.
Oh, Cristina, qual foi? What was your period of dancing in London? Because we want to find out who was the first Camiranda, the official Camiranda, the first one.
Oh God. Oh God. Because it depends, isn't it? Everybody started. Everyone started in their own time. So I could have started. Sharon could have started, but we didn't know each other. So
All
who
right.
started first? We don't know. Do you understand?
Amazing.
So it depends.
That's a
For
big
me, what
myth
used to
of
her was
London.
helpful. Because we all started in different. When did you started to dance, Sharon? When did you started to have?
My group, 87, and I started with the samba school 85.
So
But
she
for
was
shows,
first.
it was
She was
87.
first. 87, I came to this country, so she was first. She is the Carmen Miranda queen then.
And Cristina, how did you find out samba in London? Did you dance in Portugal before?
No. I've always loved Brazilians, Brazilian people. I always loved the Brazilian culture because of the novelas that they were shown in Portugal. There was like 2-3 a day. So I always loved the Brazilian accent, the Brazilian way of living and thinking, all that life, energy. So when I came to London, on the 2nd of February 1987. And I came to be an au pair. At that time, it was very popular, au pairs, nannies, all of that. So I was one of them. And a couple of years later, I moved out of Golders because I was in Golders, and I moved out to south of London. And I started to work in a company called IMO, which is International Maritime Organization, which is a government UN agency. And at that time, I met a lot of Brazilians because there was a lot of Brazilians there, engineers, you name it. And then they started to take me to Brazilian clubs, Brazilian things in London. And one day I was walking, oh gosh, long time ago, I was walking in Leicester Square and I saw Fatima from Yes Brazil, or Tima Borg, I don't know that. For me, she was Fatima. And she was giving out leaflets of her lambada classes. That's when the lambada became the big thing. You'll listen in the radio everywhere. And she gave me a leaflet of her classes. At that time, Yes Brazil didn't exist. It was BCA. The BCA existed. And then I went to her class. I met her, obviously we started talking. She said, I'm giving classes here. She was giving classes there's a Brazilian, a French place up the stairs between Leicester Square and Piccadilly. And there was a big dance studio room. And she was teaching there. And that's how I started. I started to go to her classes. And then Connie was doing the last hotel at that time.
We are talking 90, 91?
No, before that. We're talking late 1989, very beginning of 1990. And then I went to her classes. I started to go to her classes. We started to become really good friends, me, her, and Tony. And that was it. From that moment, then they started to, inviting me to go to the Lafco Hotel, to Brixton, which was Brixton. There was a club next to Holborn Station in the basement. It was an Italian restaurant, which it was Tony who was the DJ and the organizer and so on. So that's how it started.
I'm still waiting for Tony reply the confirmation for tomorrow, because tomorrow you're gonna have lots of guys, of pioneers of the.
Tony from Yes Brazil.
Yeah, I spoke with Natasha. Actually, Natasha gave us a beautiful interview on Samba de Bamba UK. I interviewed her for telling the history of Yes Brazil, and it was beautiful chat. And we talk a lot about Tony, because he was one of the first DJs, Brazilian DJs on Brazilian gigs in London. And it's very important to talk about that with him. Let's see.
Mm-hmm. So, and then we started to go to those nights, and then there was the biggest lambada competition. Oh my God, that was very big. We're talking about 30 or 40 couples participating. And it was organized by the BCA, which is the biggest, the lambada competition that there was another interview done that everybody was talking about it. I've got the video actually in here, the cassette, where he has.
Oh, Christina, you need to put it on the CD.
Oh my God, the very first lambada competition in your hand.
And this is the full with every single couple on it. I've got two tapes, one with the full and the other one with me and my partner, which was Robert Fenton. He was my lambada partner, which is also a friend of Yes Brazil, of all of us. And one small one, just me and him. And then this is with everyone, all the couples that participated at that time. Wow. Which is now after this lambada competition. Oh my God, loads of things happened. Loads of people became professional dancers and so on. So it was very big. I was second.
Who was your partner on that time? Who was your partner?
Robert Fenton. I don't think so. He's on Facebook, but he kind of disappeared. I know he lives somewhere in Costa Rica now. I don't know anything about it.
But was your fixed partner, dancing partner?
He was my fixed partner, yeah. He was my fixed partner for the lambada competition and for some shows, because he used to travel a lot. He used to work for the Club Med. He was a ski instructor. He was instructor of many sports, so he used to go everywhere. And then, yeah.
Olha, Chris Graham is saying that the platform was not working properly for her on her computer. Let's see if she comes back. Whenever she's back, we pick her to talk a little bit. Yeah, we are all learning with the new devices, new platforms, new ways of communicating. Baya, tell me how when I arrived in 2002, you was with Ale, Eliette, Rosana, all over, and Rosa, lambada, salsa, everything about the Latin rhythms. How did it start? Because you are in Paris right now. You lived there before coming to London.
No, I'm from Marseille. Actually, I'm from south of France. And my first contact with Brazil was one day when I saw a documentary about Brazil, and I found out that the city was called Salvador de Bahia, and I thought, oh my God, that's my name. And I started to find out more about Brazil. I fall in love. The image I had about Brazil was, everyone mixed together, black, white. I had this very idyllic image. And I fell in love with the lambada when it came in. But my first contact was with a group of musicians called Moleque de Boa from São Paulo, who came to Marseille. So my first contact was with them. I went on stage with them playing surdo. They were teaching us music. And I went to London in 94 to learn English for a year, to perfection my English. And as soon as I arrived, I went out and I ended up in Barsasa. And at Barsasa, on that day, I saw Edson, which I never met, and my
Edson,
yes, I only saw him.
Edson
Bispo. I saw him from far
We
away.
are waiting for him too.
My goodness, he's so beautiful. And Maite, oh my goodness, she's so beautiful. I just
Do you think
knew.
Maite was beautiful?
Oh my God, so sexy. Maite was so sexy. And I knew that this place was going to be my place. So I started to take classes with Maite and Xavier because Edson wasn't there anymore. So I learned lambada with Xavier. And I learned.
Xavier was your first
My
partner, your first teacher.
Not my partner, my first lambada teacher, because I took classes there. And I learned samba with Maite.
Oops.
And so at one day.
Sorry.
One day, Maite approached me at Barsasa after a while, after taking classes, and she offered me to do a show because I was going to replace Solange. Solange had to move to Italy, and so she invited me to do a show, which was going to be a big show at the Miss Brazil competition with Veramundo.
Okay.
And Maite just took me in. She took me to her flat. She taught me the choreographies on until I learned. And I wanted to cancel in the last minute because I thought, I'm not so good. I'm scared. And I was hearing people saying she's not Brazilian and she's doing samba and she's doing Veramundo. So Maite really, really, really pushed me. And so I did that show. And this is where everything started. Yes, Brazil. Because I had done... how do you call that? An audition with Yes Brazil, but Fatima thought I was too fat at that time, so she didn't want me.
Fatima. But don't worry, baby. Don't worry, baby. We have the same issue. We have the same issue. I was buried by Yes Brazil as well.
She put me in the toilets. I had to be underwear, and she said, "You need to lose weight, and you'll come back." So I did the show at Miss Brazil, and I think this is the show that put me in the light. Then I got Yes Brazil calling me, and then I met Karina at Bar Madrid. She called me to the shows, and then it went on and on. And I think I was very, very lucky because I learned with the best. I learned samba with Maite. I mean, this is the reference. This is how I met Chris Graham. Maite invited me to go to the London School to parade for the first one. And then with Karina, obviously, my lambada got much better because she's very perfectionist.
You had the best teachers, huh?
I had the best teachers.
Karina, Maite, Xavier.
Rosangela. With
Rosangela.
Rosangela, I learned all the traditional dances. It was a gift from life because I learned about the culture completely. So yes, I was very lucky in that sense. So that's how it happened.
My God, but this was 1992.
I arrived in 94 and my first show was on 95.
95 was the first.
Yeah.
That one with my team.
Yeah. That's how it started. So I danced for a while with Veramundo, and then I was with all the other groups.
And how was the most tense, the hardest, the toughest moment for you on stage? Do you remember?
The first one, obviously, because I for the first time in my life, I was going to wear bikinis. I mean, in the changing room, when we had to change very quickly, Maite was just taking all my clothes out because I was really making sure no one was, yeah. And I think the one that...
People say backstage there's no gender. There's no boobs.
Yeah.
There's nothing. It's all about do it.
I was really, really, very shy. The one that made me really, really grow was Rosangela's show. And I had Kaka with me. So Kaka was also teaching me because she had ballet roots. So she was helping me with the posture. I really was very, very well surrounded. So the show of Rosangela was for me a real proper show of 45 minutes going on change to change. And yeah, really, 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 really amazing.
But that's going to be a question that I might do for everyone. But did you really feel that pressure of not being Brazilian and being working onto Brazilian culture?
Yes.
Not at all.
You know.
Myself, no. Only for the first show. But I was really, really, really well integrated and very well welcome. So I didn't feel that. I think how can I say? I proved myself somehow, and then I didn't feel anymore being. There was a point where I was even losing myself a little bit because I was so much integrated to the Brazilian culture.
Eu vou só puxar. I'm gonna just now get Miss Chris Graham, see if how is her sound system going on. Oops, she's gonna get. Chris, we're gonna do something about that. If we don't speak today, we're gonna speak another day, but we will. We will. Bettina, my love,
Yes.
first of all, you are my very first gig partner ever when we did for Paraíso with Edinha. I have just arrived in Paraíso, and Jayola invited me for that performance. Was out of London. I didn't have even shoes. I performed on my bare feet. Oh my gosh, shame of me. And was with you and Edinha. It was amazing. I felt so special, so on the top 10 because you guys were already working here when I arrived. And yeah, thank you very much for being with us. We're gonna talk a lot about also your other works you carry on doing with Para Carnival and etc. But how that all started, babe, for you?
Um, so I came in England as an au pair. And, oh, thank you, Rosa. So I came in England as an au pair, and then I suppose I put on quite a bit of weight, and I thought, oh, I should do some exercise. So I thought, what about dancing? And then I found an advert on the Time Out. So I went to London School of Samba, and that's it. That's it. That was my, and I just loved it. Yes, and
But you were that performer that you when I met you you were like a Ibiza icon from Pacha. You could do anything on stage. But when you arrive in London School, was like that already. Oh no,
no,
where did you come?
not. I suppose I'm not sure. Because I was very free. I was very free, but it just exploded all of a sudden. So at first, I was just enjoying the music and the dance, but I was quite, I don't know.
It
And
was organic. You
yeah,
didn't go for learning for that.
no. I just enjoyed it. I just loved
Yeah.
it, and I went there and again and again and again, and suddenly I just exploded. I just, but also had things going on in my personal life, and it was, yeah, it was great.
Yeah, my Jay is saying that you are our Globeleza, and I have to say, you and after came Kelly Kels are the two non-Brazilians that really amaze me, always amaze me seeing dancing because that's the way you said, it's organic. When I was seeing you on stage and performing on Paraíso, on parades or whatever, you are always under the character. No? You bring the character with you. The scenario and everything is there. And Kelly Kels was another one that I felt that because Globeleza is very specific. Globeleza is very difficult to compare. And for me was really surprising since the first day. And when I met you in Rio, I could see that you was blended. Doesn't matter the skin color or the accent or whatever, he was blended with Ipanema, Estácio, downtown, everywhere. He was meant to, like, he was there forever, since ever. Did you feel that? The connection with
Um,
Brazilian culture?
I don't ask myself myself too many questions, but I feel quite free. I feel comfortable. I'm quite free. I don't think about it. But
Very natural, very, very natural, Bettina.
thank you.
And how did it come the other projects? Because since you were participating for Paraíso for a long time, and then you grow your group, you built up your group, and that became your mission, I believe. Because since then you never stopped.
I think that was I think that was fate, basically. I never wanted to do it. I never thought of it. It just happened all by itself, and it suits me. It suits me. Yes, I think I was quite lucky with that. It's perfect. Yeah. But I never thought I would do it. It's because Richard, my husband, has a friend in a wheelchair, and one day we thought, oh, come to Carnival, like we started like this, and then suddenly suddenly it made a snowball, and it all happened. But
Cool. Nuria is saying to us that Liliana is running late, but she's coming soon. Liliana Martins, our other Carmen Miranda. Chris is here, but I don't know, Chris. I don't know if we're gonna get it today from you. Can you hear us? No.
Wow.
But don't worry, I tell you, we're gonna do one just you and me, baby.
Special.
Yeah, it happens. Do you know what? Simone had some issues on that.
Last time.
We're done. We're done. We managed.
And Nicole?
Sharon. Oh yeah. Nicole is putting her baby to sleep. She'll be here around 9 something.
There is a memory I have with Bettina that I want to share, and this is, I keep such a fond memory of that time, but I was someone in the shows who always forgot something. I was always asking, oh, do you have this for me? Oh, do you have this? Very bem desligada. So one day I forgot my glitter. And I had a show with Bettina in the stage, and I asked her, Bettina, would you have any glitter? She took her bag, and it was full of glitter. And I said, oh, wow. So I put the glitter and I put it all over my body. And every time I would see I had a show with Bettina, I knew that I would have a lot of glitter for me. She's so generous with it because she loved glitter, and I did as well.
Bettina is very well known of the glitter supporter.
Yeah.
She's got a glitter fabric in her house.
yes.
Yeah, but that's a sweet memory.
It's funny. We're all talking about big shows. We were Persistas and everything like that. But I can remember going out with the London School of Samba in 1984 with a Brazilian woman. I can't remember her name, but she had a coat over her bikini, and we were. If she took it off, she was threatened with arrest at the Notting Hill Carnival. Yeah.
Wow.
That's how it used to be in the old days. And eventually we managed to go from maillot, like an all-in-one, to wearing bikinis and things like that. But it was very strict. And it was crazy times. Crazy times when you think about trying to educate the British public and the police.
Giovanni, bring Francesca. Oh, Sharon, as you are one of the big pioneers as well. What's your seeing how is the industry right now? Seeing how is it? Well, not right now, but until last year. Were you going? You've been used to go out to Brazilian places and seeing performances, or not involved anymore?
Definitely. And also, I used to hire Bar Madrid during the day to use as a rehearsal space, as well as ballet studios. So we practiced our quadros, our scenes, the smaller scenes there. But when I did big costumes, I had to hire a really big dance studio. So I'd invite Brazilian choreographers over. Like I said, it was an umbrella. I just wanted to showcase anybody that was authentic, to have a chance to show their things here. And I can remember one time, it was fascinating. I had the director of the Royal Ballet watching Armando Pequeno, who's a top contemporary dancer and also, master of candomblé and everything. And he showed a piece, a contemporary piece, and the master from the Royal Ballet just went crazy. He could not understand how he could move his body like that. And they became really good friends. And that was wonderful to connect people like that, just to show that there are other ways, there's other cultures to integrate, so yeah.
And what's your comparison? What you can compare with your time of these performances and all this work with these productions on recent time?
Oh, it's really great to see. I mean, when I started, it was very, I just say amdram in English, the tatty costumes. I thought, no, that's not good enough. You've got brilliant placistas, but they haven't got good gear. Or, it was very anglicized. And I thought, no. We have to have authentic. It can't be anglicized. And then thanks to people like Charles Pelham, it was amazing. He promoted
my patron.
If it hadn't been for him, we wouldn't have been able to go to the more known places. We got invited to lots of really big events to do shows. He was an amazing support of Brazilian arts. And no, I think the standard's very high now.
Okay. And you was the one was saying when I asked Baya if she felt a little bit tension on the Brazilians and not being Brazilians on the same field, on the same market.
Not in my group, and it was lovely.
Okay.
I got a beautiful Facebook message from Liliana. Asia says, "Thanks to you, I have everything," and that was really amazing because it was tough for me sometimes, Oh, thank you,
Karina. Beijo.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, Karina. And I was trying to protect them and also learn from them. So it was like an interactive thing. So we grew together. They like you say, you have a ballet dancer, they can show a lot. And then you've got the Brazilian dancer that can really show a lot as well. And I have Brazilian friends like Marcos Barbosa, and they taught me lots. And he used to look after me in Carnival in Brazil. And I felt sorry for him. He was a banker. And we'd go to... a baracão, or we'll go for a rehearsal, and then you go, oh my God, pegou fogo, né? And so I was on fire, so I'm not going to go home. And he's going, menina, tem que acordar da manhã, né? He's like, come on, darling, I've got to get up in the morning for work. Hello, it's 2:00 in the morning. I'm going, yeah, woo, but no, as far as going to Brazil, I was fine. When they thought I was Brazilian. I had long curly hair, I'm very dark, and samba beso. I could samba like anybody for them.
Really? I would love to see that.
Oh, I've got, like you, Vaya, I've got, and Christina, I've got lots of
VHS. That needs to be, me too.
At the times. I remember when we did the first, it was called Yes Brazil, actually, when we did the Réveillon. And people asked me, how did you get all these people? And it's crazy times.
And Cristina, of course, for being Portuguese, sometimes can have a clash with Brazilian culture. It depends of the community you are, depends with part of Brazil or part of Portugal. We are friends, we are brothers and sisters, but sometimes we are... Did you feel that when you start to put your feathers on and they say that Portuguese, really? Oh, no. Oh, sorry. I muted you because I was giving a technical thing.
No. I felt welcome. In fact, I didn't want to dance. I didn't want to do samba shows. I wanted to do lambada because that's what I was strong at. I didn't want to do samba. I didn't know how to dance samba.
You did
And
fantastic.
after this lambada competition, I went to Brazil. And when I came from Brazil, that's when Tony had the idea to do Yes Brazil Group, to form a Yes Brazil Group. And I came very skinny, very tan, and this was like February, March, coming from Brazil, all that. And what did they do? They had a show in a restaurant somewhere in Leicester Square, and they just pushed me. I said, no, there was one of the dancers, Miss didn't come. I said, no, you have to do it. I said, no, I can't do it. I never danced samba. No. Yeah, let's do it.
Improvise.
And that was it. She put some clothes on, and there I went. But lucky, the costume had a lot of babados. How do you say?
Ruffles.
Yeah, had a lot on your feet. So they couldn't see my feet. So that was good. So she said, just wiggle, and that's it. I said, okay, that's
wiggle.
That was my first.
I know that feeling.
Of samba.
Rosa is saying that she was the queen, one of the queens of Lambada at that time.
Definitely.
At that time, yeah. But also thanks to Fatima, she was the one who teach me. And this competition made me practice every day for I don't know how many months. So that put me, on.
Oh, Baya, what was the rhythm that you preferred on that time that you liked most? Was it zouk? Was it lambada? Was it samba?
I knew that I loved lambada because I discovered Kaoma. My dream was, I never thought I would meet all of them, but I met all of them, everyone in the video clip. But I loved samba and samba reggae for the feeling of being very very earthy. It's very earthy, and with the batucada and the percussion, I really would feel it inside. I loved it. I loved samba and samba reggae. I loved lambada, especially when it changed to lambazouk, because for me that was when I was more airy and traveling, like I say. And I loved all the traditional dances. I loved maracatu for the spiritual side of it. I really loved every dances, to be honest. I think the one that is probably more me is the lambazouk because of some movements that are close to belly dancing. But I really, really love samba on batucada. I think the shows themselves, the music, I enjoyed it, but the batucada for me was the strongest, definitely.
And how many times have you been in Brazil, babe?
I've been many times, and I've been to a wonderful trip with Christina. We went for 3 months traveling around Brazil. It was amazing.
In the year 2000, that year I'll never forget, darling.
Me neither.
Everything
we
happened.
We went to many places of Brazil.
Top to down? You went all over?
Yeah. We went to many places,
That's a journey.
We got Brazilian Air Pass at that time. Remember the Brazilian Air Pass?
Yeah.
With that, we managed to travel all around. So
we discovered a dance called brega, which apparently lambada comes from brega. Was very, I don't know if you remember, Chris.
From the north.
That show, brega, was quite interesting. We bumped onto Berg there.
Olha, Rosa is saying that she met her husband. Who?
It's true. Baya, actually, she was the Cupid. She was the Cupid.
Oh, really? He was there on that
trip? He
trip?
took me out of bed. It was in Natal. And we just arrived in the Pousada. We were dead tired because we traveled by
basically
bus.
Yes, we were very tired. Christina didn't want to go out, and I was in that time very much fogo na bunda. I don't know how you would translate that in English. I just wanted to go out. I just wanted to party, so I went out, and I wanted to know what we could do on that night and the following day. And that guy in a box told me, "Oh, there is a party tonight." I said, "Okay, wait." So I go and grab Christina and tell her, "Wait, there's that party."
Hold on a second. The guy was in a box?
Yeah.
It was a present in a pousada. Can you give me give me this address, please? I gotta be there.
That's
my husband was a buggy driver, a tourist buggy driver.
Yeah.
So he had just came from a trip. So, and they had the selling boxes where they have standing there the whole day selling the trips, And he had just arrived, so he was there as well. So that's why.
So it was him.
Yeah. So wait. So I go to the room, I wake up with Christina, I said, come, I'm going to introduce you to someone. I didn't think about him, but I was thinking about the party. So she's like, okay. She grabs her orange dress, very sexy dress. She just
Oh my
grabs the
God,
first
you
dress.
remember that? Even
Of
the
course,
dress.
the orange dress. And then I take her there and suddenly something happens. And I'm like, something is happening there. I want to know if we're going to party, but I see something happening between them.
Oh my God!
They
So everything
never
happened in the
left
box.
each other. Yes. Everything in the box.
Amazing.
But I didn't want to go to the party, remember? I wanted to go and see the show. There was a show of Geraldo Azevedo, which I
I
love.
love it.
I love him. And I wanted to see his show, but she wanted to dance. So because they get commissions wherever they go, these buggy drivers, they get commissions. If he takes the tourists to a club, they get commission. So obviously he was trying to push us to go to the party because by going there he gets commission. Did you know that, Bayer? In the end, we didn't go to the show. We went to this club. And you see things happen.
But really,
I've got to stand with him and they're happy.
But did
my
you,
God. Baya is
you
very
find-
good. Baya being my cupid in Paris as well for my last engagement. My engagement number 42. And now she's going to be the next one. All right.
Oh, yes, I am. I already put all the couples together. I'm used for it. Not for myself, though. That's
Guys,
always.
we have another beautiful lady to join us. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Nicole.
Hello, Nicole.
How is it?
Thank you, Nicole. How's baby? Sleeping?
Yeah, she's asleep now, thank goodness. She took a while. I'm so sorry I'm so late, but she's just she knew I had something to do, so she was like, Mummy, I need this, Mummy, I need that. So yeah.
Thank you, babes, for coming. Thanks for your patience for all these things coming up. It's a lot of work on, and thanks God we are here all together. Thank you, babe.
Yeah, thank you.
Your sound. Say again.
Room. Hold on one sec.
All right, no worries. Olha, Karina is saying Baya is very Brazilian. For me, samba was strict party. Actually, I learned samba observing those girls. Karina. Nicole Linda. Nicolita. Baya, tell me. Oh, sorry, Bettina. Did you? I know you was very organic and everything happened as it goes, not as it takes. But did you have any aim, or did you have anything to reach in dancing in London, or dancing was just for fun? You didn't have any expectations at all.
It wasn't just for fun, but I had no expectation. I mean, it's just I had no expectation.
Was it all about put a glitter on and go?
I lived the moment. It was good. Yeah, I was very, very fortunate. Yes.
It have changed a lot when your baby came. When the Père Louise.
Yes.
We all do that.
Yes, it's and then now there's Para Carnival. I think everything changes, isn't it? But I had a good go at it. It was good.
But with Para Carnival, your life is carnival 24 hours, no? 24/7.
Yes. I've learned the dance, but also I learned the costumes and also the show, how to direct a show and how to build a carnival. I mean, it's not just that I'm a samba school girl, so I've learned everything about it.
Behind you is another samba school there, né? I can see there lots of material.
Yes. Lots of costumes. We've got loads of costumes. Lots of
You
And
see
how are you
that?
doing? How are you doing with those students or clients or during this pandemic time? Are you still running anything with them?
A lot. Actually, I'm exhausted from it. We do nearly a class every day, dancing, drumming. Now we do drawing as well. We do art, but a lot of dancing, yes, and yeah, because on Zoom it works. It's good, and they're very helpful.
For the ones they don't know, what's about is a charity trust? Is a school? Is a
Uh,
how it works?
it's a community interest company, and we work with people with special needs, but e- everybody as well, vulnerable people. So we also work with old people, people with people with mental health problems, or we work with children. It's everyone. Everyone,
It's
maybe.
a party. It's a
Yeah,
party.
yeah.
Fantastic. It's really satisfying when you do that. You know, I found that when we did projects with the community with children or people with special needs, it's so rewarding, you know, really is rewarding. And they remember everything. They remember the songs, they remember the drum rhythms, you know, it's amazing.
As Horza was saying, she has a lot of histories with Nicole. And Nicole, let me show. Nicole has a lot of adventures. What's just going on? We were very young and a bit crazy. Okay, Rosa, as you say, Rosa is starting, you see. Rosa, as you say, let's go to Nicole. Nicole, tell us about a little bit your starting. How it all came out in your life?
Well, I moved to London when I think I was like 17, and I passed my driving test, and an old friend took me to Bar Madrid. He was like, there's this really cool Latin club. Lambada is like #1 in the charts. He was like, you've got to come, let's go and celebrate. So I went to Bar Madrid, and I think Xavier was playing with Viramundo in the band, and Paul and everyone.
Viramundo,
And
yeah.
Fatima with, I think it was Yes Brazil. Christina, you probably remember that as well. But I think it was Yes Brazil there, and they were doing a show, and I just saw the scene, the dance, the people, the electricity, the feeling. I mean, I get goosebumps just even, remembering it now. And I just fell in love with the dance, and I was like 100% determined to, to learn how to do it. And I just got addicted and met all these lovely people. And and then it just went from there. I think Fatima was teaching in a place in Leicester Square. I went to a class there, and I think I met you there, Christina. And and that was it. It was then on. It was like all I could think about was dancing. It was like going to sleep, coming up with new choreographies, new moves. What night?
We had our own dance group.
And Christina and I used to.
Huh? We had our own dance group. Sol Bahia.
Which one?
Yeah.
What was?
We did.
Sol Bahia. It didn't last very long, but we did.
Sol Bahia.
No, it didn't last very long because Xavier started to get very busy with the music part.
Xavier is always busy. Xavier doesn't stop.
Xavier was her partner, and my partner was Edson Bispo.
Yeah, it was Edson. Right.
Miss Chris Graham is sending a message. Miss Graham, we're gonna be with you soon. Maybe on Instagram. Maybe works better with your device on Instagram. Let's see. Thanks, babes. But Nicole, I haven't heard anything crazy. It's been very normal going to Bar Madrid and watching Yes Brazil. What happened? No, I'm joking. The only thing is, you are the biggest name that I heard since 2002. I arrived in London. They say, "Oh my God, Nicole! Oh, I have some." Everybody has something to tell with you. You must be being everywhere on that
We
time.
had some good adventures. Christina and I missed 2 plays, didn't we, Christina? We went to where was it? Barcelona.
Barcelona. We went to do some shows with Giovanni, Marley, Francois Alba, with Alba as well.
Yeah, Alba. We're gonna be with Alba soon.
Oh, he's talking about my cooking.
Muqueca em caipirinha.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Cristina, so you've been doing performances in Barcelona as well?
Yeah, we went. Giovanni and Marley were living there at the time. Giovanni, the DJ who's going to be with you
Giovanni
guys tomorrow.
Pasquale tomorrow.
Yeah, Giovanni Pasquale. He was living there with Marley, and they had some shows there at the time of the Olympic Games, when there were the Olympic Games there. So he needed more people. So I went, Nicole went, Francoise, which is his sister, went, and Alba with her husband went as well. So we all went and performed there, and me and Nicole, we had the funniest way back. A lot of things happened. I think she will tell you.
Wait, we missed 2 planes. So we missed the plane to go there, and we missed the plane to come home again. And
train,
in the airport overnight.
Why is that?
And we had a massive suitcase full of all the Brazilian costumes. And we ended up having to go to the beach with them. We couldn't fly for 24 hours later. With this great big suitcase, we had to drag it on the beach, full of feathers, and every time we opened it, to get a towel or, bikini, like another feather costume came out. Or oh my god! It was
in the beach.
Oh, it was amazing.
And Nicole, what was your? Sorry.
It's cutting off.
Sorry, I missed that. The reception's not great. Sorry.
I was asking, what was your first performance, the first gig you did? Do you remember how it was?
Yeah, I think it was so funny because we so I think it was Yes Brazil, and they were performing in, what was that place that was downstairs?
Bayswater. Bayswater, Rio, the Rio restaurant, Bayswater.
Rio, was it Rio restaurant?
Rio, there was the Rio restaurant.
Them, we'd all go and and support them. And yeah, and I think my first performance was there, but very soon after there was this it was a festival or something in Embankment, and they had a stage, and we were the Brazilian dance group, and I was so nervous with the fruit on your head, which was all plastic, and because I was I didn't have very amazing costumes, so I just we just pulled something together, and the hat that I was wearing.
Rosa is saying it's beachcomber, can be in Queensway.
Yeah.
Cutting it now.
No, beachcomber is in Shaftesbury Avenue.
Liliana is a little bit lost. Hold on. It's cutting your connection, babe. I think we lost Nicole. She's gone. Liliana Martins, vai no seu WhatsApp, tá lá o link para você entrar aqui no seu Messenger também do Facebook. Liliana Martins, a gerência lhe aguarda.
Sempre atrasada.
Tá sempre atrasada essa Liliana. Rodrigo, precisamos agradecer essas gringas por terem disseminado a cultura, música e dança brasileira. Sim, Zazá. Se não fossem essas donzelas, essas ladies... Hã?
Lili até parece brasileira, né?
É, exatamente.
Lili, eu não acreditava que a Lili não era brasileira quando eu conheci. Deixa eu mandar para ela aqui, de novo, aqui o nosso link. Liliana, te mandei de novo. Vai lá no seu WhatsApp. Nicole, sorry, your connection was cutting. Não, Liliana, eu mandei 2 links para você, eu expliquei lá. Um era para você clicar para chegar aqui, o outro era para você entregar para os seus amiguinhos verem a gente. Você clicou para ver. Clica no para participar.
Ai, você
Ela
tá
chegou,
velha,
ela chegou.
Como é que eu faço pra colocar isso?
Liliana Martins! Lilica, are you there? Lili?
Eu entrei no outro.
Linda.
É que eu tô com pressa, gente. Acabei de chegar em casa. Passei o dia. Gente, um de cada vez, Um de cada vez.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Let's see now, Nicole. I think we are not hearing you. We can hear you. Say again. The connection is not good for everyone, so it depends how it goes. Nicole, I think we are losing you.
Rodrigo, como é que eu faço para colocar isso live no meu Facebook? Cadê o link? Você não me mandou.
Mandei, meu amor. Mas na verdade, quando acabar aqui, você pode sair. Quando você acabar e você sair daqui, você vai lá no meu e dá um share na sua página. Você faz um compartilhar.
Quando acabar, então.
Na verdade, antes de você entrar, você pode sair agora também, vai lá na minha página, dá um share e depois volta aqui no mesmo link.
I did it already.
You did, Baia?
Yeah. You don't have to wait.
Agora eu vou dar uma atenção especial para a minha Lilica, a minha Carmen Miranda das eras dos anos 2000, the 2000 Carmen Miranda. Lilica, we are in English, as we are mostly English speakers around. Tell us a little bit of how you started all this craziness, the Brazilian fever. Lili? You see, guys, it's not everybody with the same connection. Go on. We're gonna find out.
Well, we're obviously meant to be here chatting, so that's cool.
Gone.
Let me go to the messages because we have loads of messages for you guys. Let me see. Xavier saying, Rodrigo, once we were performing outside London and going back home, Nicole's car was found upside down. It was hilarious. Oh my gosh.
Everything happened with Nicole. You've got no idea, this girl.
Really? Was this way?
Now we laugh, but not at that time.
Qual a nacionalidade? Oh, beautiful question. Eusario Zaza is asking, what's the nationalities of the gringas? So, Sharon?
I'm global, I've discovered. My father is African American. My great grandmother, North American Indian. I've got Sicilian, Portuguese, and Russian Jew. Help yourself.
Beautiful.
But you were born?
I was born in England, yeah.
Apart from all of that, I was born in England. Baya?
I'm French. I'm French with an Algerian background.
Bettina?
So I'm French. I have got a French mother and a Uruguayan father.
Uruguayan? Yes. I didn't know.
Yes.
That's why Hernandez, huh?
Fernandez, yes.
Fernandez.
Yes.
And you could... Oh, sorry.
I don't speak Spanish. I was born in France. I was brought up in France. So, but yeah. I'm half Uruguayan.
Beautiful. And you, Cristina?
Portuguese, Portuguese,
Portuguese, Portuguese.
Portuguese, Portuguese.
Lilica?
I'm Afro-Portuguese. I'm Cape Verdean.
Cape Verde and
Nice.
Portuguese.
That's beautiful.
Vicente Luis, say what
No,
happened when you use
but I
neighborhood?
was born in Portugal. So I'm Afro-Portuguese.
Olha,
Vicente is so
I'm
funny.
full Cape Verdean.
Vicente
There's
is
no
always a
Portuguese there.
saint. Núria is saying thanks that she knows. Chris darling, vocês estão conseguindo nada de conexão. I know,
Oh
baby.
no, Chris.
Oh,
It's been hard for you and Nicole.
Okay.
So, Lilica, tell me if your connection is doing well now. Tell us a little bit your starting. How did you start with this crazy Brazilian extravaganza?
I started with going to Bar Madrid with a friend of mine because she had a heartache. She was heartbroken, so I used to take her every Tuesday to just to enjoy herself. And it was the night of Carina and Berg, and there I met who was to be my boyfriend at that time, and with his friend, his best friend, used to dance lambada. So I met Roberto and Bozo and a few others, and then we used to go to Bar Madrid quite regularly. And then eventually, one of their friends, Neia, used to be a dancer in Yes Brazil.
Oh, Neia,
Now,
the Neia?
before that,
Neia from the...
no. There was another Neia. You wouldn't know her. She's gone a long time. But she used to dance like lambada, and she used to be a couple in Yes Brazil. And then with Roberto's sister, I learned to samba, and then I used to have lessons with Berg, with lambada. So eventually, Neia told Bozo and I, which was my boyfriend's best friend, that Yes Brazil was holding some auditions, and we decided to just go for fun. He wanted to go, and he needed a partner, so I went and I did some lambada to do some lambada with him. But the thing is, when I arrived there was Dede and another girl there, I forget her name at that time, and they were doing the auditions.
Oh, Xavier
So I
saying
had
was
to do
Mondays.
the couple. No. This time it was Tuesday. Then it
Okay.
turned to be Monday. I used to take her there on Tuesdays, yeah.
What
Then
year
it
was
became
that,
Monday,
babe?
and then Wednesday.
What year was
This
that?
was 1994, 1995. Because I started, no, sorry, no, 1990, 1993, 1994. And then I went to Yes Brazil and I did the audition. And then for some reason, I didn't pass on the couples audition, neither my friend, but I had to do also audition for choreographies. And because I'm a figure skater and I've competed, I could pick up choreographies quite quickly. So I passed, and I started rehearsing with Yes Brazil. Then eventually, I had my first
Lucky
show with Yes Brazil, I
you,
think
because by and I,
sorry, 1996, I had my first show. Yeah, and then I met Baya, Shuya, and Yanni. That time, Yes Brazil was Baya, Shuya, Yanni. I think Iris was still there. I remember, what's her name?
Kaka?
Thought Shoika was there. There was another, no, I think there was, what's her name? Eliette. Eliette was used to help Dede. And then Wagner, Cleverson, Ramsey, they were all part of the gang. And I was new. And then I did a show, I think, in Bournemouth, my first show in Bournemouth, 96, beginning May, something like that. And then they needed someone to go to Tanzania like quite quickly. Someone who could have 3 weeks in Tanzania. I was at university at that time, so I could take 3 weeks off. So very rushly, I got my papers, my vaccinations, and everything. So I was my first experience. Well, my first experience was in Tanzania, 3 weeks. So it's not bad, huh? So it was I
that'd be
and Baya,
exciting.
Shuya, Kaka, and Shema and Tony.
Guys, if
So that's
if
how
we
actually I
get
start. So
if we get Chris now, let's see. She was saying that she was trying again for the last time. If she get her
if
camera
she comes
on,
in,
let's try to take a selfie of this memorable moment. But let's see if she get there. Chris, we are with you, huh? Whatever happens, we
so very
trust. That time.
I got my papers.
Yes, Chris.
There she is. Quickly,
Hold on.
quickly, quickly.
Selfie. But I think she's not with us. Halfway.
No, it's frozen.
Oh God.
I think
Chris,
her
we
face
love you
is-
anyway.
It's funny
Oh.
because Nicole, you must have been at Barbara when I was doing shows as well.
Yes,
Berg used to be
definitely.
my Lambada section person with Karina, and
Bergen Carino. Yeah, at that
Yeah.
time. Right, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's where I met
Yeah.
you, and I remember
that was so crazy at the Bar Madrid. Oh my God.
it was so crazy. Monday night.
Bar
and,
Madrid
we
was,
just
yeah,
danced
yeah.
for
Very
hours.
good, yeah.
Like,
That's what
we
Nuria
danced
is
for
saying here.
hours. We just we wouldn't. Do you remember? It'd be like 4 or 5 hours constant dancing. I mean, to do
Yeah,
that
you really
now.
had to be fit. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
we
really
were,
had to be
weren't
fit.
we?
Zaza is
And then
asking if any of you have danced with Brazil.
No.
Who is Brazil? Who was it? It was Berg and who was part of Brazil?
It was just
Brazil was Juliette and Zaza.
Ah, no.
No.
There was I remember there was Gilmar and Jorginho, and I
That's
remember
right.
going to Bar
That's
Madrid, and
right.
there was the
And
samba
Felipe.
reggae and all that
Yeah.
jazz. You know, I remember you, Nicole. I remember you. And
I
then
remember
was
you.
Berg and Karina. Obviously, everybody used to go to
Yeah.
Bar Madrid for Berg and Karina.
And then
Yeah.
The girls for
came.
Berg and the boys for Karina. There's one for everybody.
Yeah. I remember you, Nicole, as well.
So then I met
couldn't
everybody. Then we used to
Yeah.
meet everybody.
I remember you too, Baya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Ah, you used to dance
happy.
with Felipe. That's why. Now I can make the
That's right.
connection.
Yeah.
Oh, Felipe, of course.
That's a
Yeah,
story.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
But it was a crazy time, and it's just, you know, if you when I think back, I just think, do you remember the people who weren't like dancers or Brazilian, and they used to come to Bar Madrid, and their faces, they used to watch these gorgeous girls, the
They were in
guys
shock.
dancing, and they'd just
Yeah.
stand there. Do you remember their faces? They'd be like,
It's true.
there's like big crowds of them just watching the dance floor. But yeah, it was funny.
And then if you
Christina and I just remembered another really embarrassing thing when we were
I
driving.
was one of them before I learned to dance.
Sorry.
Mm.
You
I
see?
said I was one of them before I learned to dance.
You were. I remember Christina and I used, because we'd always wear the lambada skirts, and you know, and run around town with these little lambada skirts. And one time I was driving and I had this little Fiat Panda, this white box, and we'd pile all the costumes in, and we were in Trafalgar Square somewhere, and I wasn't very good with directions and where you were allowed to go and where you weren't allowed to go. And so I drove down the like bus lane in the middle of Trafalgar Square, you know, like being Christina and our lambada skirts, like do, you know, we're going to our next show or whatever. And we got stopped by the police, and and we had to get out of the car in these little lambada skirts. Remember, Chris? You know, run. It's so funny. We had so many laughs.
Whenever you are with Nicole,
They were
I
very
can
impressed.
guarantee you that you have great fun.
I can remember another story about Leicester Square. They used to put on Kinky Galinki, which was a big Brazilian show club thing in the Café de Paris. And it was the most amazing, outrageous show. And Roberta Klaus used to come, lots of famous people from Brazil. And I got invited there, and I shared up my costumes with everybody that wanted to go. Some people didn't have costumes. I shared all my costumes up, but some of them were so big that you'd have to sit on the floor of the taxi. But we said, no, just come your costumes. We've got to do it like they do in Brazil. And what we didn't realize, there was a film crew from Spain filming everybody for TV going into this big event. And so Madam strolled up in a very skimpy bikini, which you have a picture of, Rodrigo, and just took her shawl off and just walked in, you know. And it was great because we knew Roberta from Rio, so it was great to talk to her. Just amazing night. Everybody mixed up. There was nobody, you know. We had Travecas and transvestites in the ladies' powder room. And I said, "How do you put your tights on? Let me show you." You know, it was this fantastic atmosphere. It was put on by Winston. Yeah, that was a big, really big. It was like Gala Gay, you know, but in London. It was huge, absolutely huge.
Wow.
Rosa is saying that you always shared your costumes.
That's so true.
Well, and we
They
used to
always
go and
phone
get
me,
ready.
Sharon, can I borrow a costume?
Remember, we used to dress for the Notting Hill Carnival at your place, Sharon. I remember that. And you always had a whole, like, tons of people. And
yes, the
costumes
headdresses down from the ceiling.
Yeah, exactly. That was really, really good fun.
Now, tomorrow, as Azar is here, Giovanni is here, Xavier is here, but tomorrow we're going to have all of them talking. They are on my Sunday gig of dancing reunion for the Chá das 5 do Tio Rô. And tomorrow we have the pioneers, the man team. It's gonna be a man talking. Let's see what they're gonna bring. I know what Xavier gonna bring because we have done a live stream just with him talking a lot about the history and the journey. Maybe that's what the idea came from. Remember, Baya, when you were telling me, you see, Xavier, he knows everything. There's so many people around. Let's bring everybody. I think
Xavier knows. And Xavier knows all the secrets. Xavier knows all the secrets.
Yeah. And another person who knows all the secrets who's listening in from Brazil is Marcos Barbosa.
Who?
Marcos.
He's been through all the generations.
He's listening in from Brazil.
Is it Marcos with the long hair? Is Marcos with the long hair? The blondish. He used to live in Bayswater.
Yeah. And he used to live in Kilburn. But he was
was he the guy with the blonde hair?
No. He used to be with the London School of Samba as well. But he'd be the, high or whatever, you know.
Yeah, but that's the more. I think that was. And for you guys,
I know a few secrets.
Marcos Linhares, she's saying. Talking about secrets,
yeah, I know Marcos Linhares.
Now Liliana is still on stage, still dancing. Not on the pandemic time, but yeah, she's still running. Bettina,
I will be doing a Zoom at the end of this month.
How is it?
Mm-hmm. We go doing a Zoom with Tropicali at the end of this month, beginning of next month.
Tell us about it. Tell us.
I don't know. Vanessa will tell you. I haven't got a clue.
So it's gonna happen a proper show. It's gonna have a proper performance on Zoom.
I don't think it's a show. But I'll be dancing with someone else. So I don't know. Ask her. She'll tell you.
All right. Can you guys advertise?
I haven't got a clue. I'm not authorized to say any details because I haven't got any details.
Okay. Bettina is also running her dancing with the group, but the others, I know you are in the other fields and doing other things. Tell us what's the best, the fond memory that you bring, and what's the something that I wish I was there. Something, every moment that you think I would love to be there, or I would love to still be doing, or no. I don't miss it. By Grace, Christian.
I can't really remember any negative moment or great moment. For me, they were all great moments. Yeah, they're all great moments. There was one that was very funny because me, Lily, Mesquita, and Alba, we formated the Lirio Tropical dance group. And we used to do a lot of shows for the Jewish community. We did one, and
A
from that
lot.
one, my God, they loved it. So we got a lot of shows through that one show. We got a lot of shows. And one day, I remember we were doing a bar mitzvah, and it was quite a religious one. Now imagine samba for the Jews. The religious one is a bit. And I told the woman, I said to her, before in our meetings, before the shows, I said to her, look, we're going to be with the bikinis. We're going to be, with the rabbi is going to be there. And she said, don't worry about the rabbi, don't worry. He's not going to, we're going to send him home before you guys come along. Okay. We went, but the rabbi, I think he knew. He had a feeling, or somebody told him, and he wouldn't leave. So the show was getting late and late and late. And then she said, you know what? Do the show. Do the show. We're all ready there, waiting for more than an hour from the time that, and everybody was waiting because everybody knew about it. So we started to dance. We started to dance samba, exactly samba. And as I was dancing, we were performing. Now, first we did some other things, but then when it came to the samba part, I was dancing, and suddenly, what was his name? The Jamaican boy who was my dance partner in the group. God. I'm sorry. No, not Robert.
Rosa
Kwame.
Rosa will know.
The tall.
Rami.
I'm so sorry that I forgot.
No, that was
his name.
Andy. Andy is not
Andy,
Jamaican.
yes.
Andy is not Jamaican.
Andy.
Is he Jamaican? No, he's not Jamaican.
Andy. He came in with the lambada clothes
Andy
dancing.
was
And I said,
big.
what are you doing here? He said, you have to go out. I said, what are you doing? No, you have to go out. Just get out of the stage. It's not your turn to come. He just came in the middle of us in a summer. And I said, no, you have to go out because the rabbi is saying, cut it off, cut it. So we had to leave very embarrassed. The woman was very embarrassed. She actually paid us more than what she's supposed to do. But it was very funny at the time. That was a great moment.
But I think I didn't form very well my question because I gotta give myself as an experience. As I'm not dancing anymore, the best part of being there for me was the spotlights. I felt amazing, sexy, on the top of the world. But the good thing of not being there anymore is I don't have any more outstanding invoices, checks that never come, heavy luggages on when it's raining. I don't have a car. I hate it to carry all my luggages. So that was the 2 points, the 2 topics.
Yeah, I feel. So I miss it. Obviously, I miss a lot. But time moves on, isn't it? Life moves on. So you have to accept that is the past. And now you have a different life completely. Life took you to different path, So I'm happy that I've done what I've done. Extremely happy. And yes, I do miss a lot because I had great moments, But it's just part of life, isn't it? Life moves on, and that's it, really. But I have great memories, and that I'll treasure for the rest of my life.
And Bettina. Bettina is frozen.
Yeah, looks like a painting.
I'm not sure about the best and the worst or what I didn't like, but I would say that samba was woven into my life, I'd say, and I am what I am today because of samba. And the people, I met some of the most important people of my life, and and then I grew up with them. So I am today what I am because of my experience with samba. So it's incredibly important for me, and it's still there, and it will always be, I think, forever. Yeah, and I'm very
Beautiful.
grateful as well. I'm very grateful.
And for you, Baya, what the highest and the lowest point of that era, that phase?
Um, I'll start with the lowest because they're not much low, to be honest. But the things, the time that I didn't enjoy at all, which was really painful for me, was when we had to do the shows amongst the tables.
Mhm.
And I used to feel very uncomfortable. I was very uncomfortable. I was glad not to do it anymore. I definitely missed the rush of doing shows in stages with loud music and a lot of people. So when I went back to France, I was very down for a while, but I started organizing events in France, but more towards African dances and music. But I miss, up to today, I miss being on stage. I miss that rush. I think I will miss it forever. And what you said, Bettina, is very true and very beautiful. I think that experience totally made the person that I am today. And the people of London, for me, the dancing crowd is like a family. I really feel, even if I don't know you, Sharon, personally, and Nicole, we haven't really, mingled, but I saw you. For me, you are part of my family. Yeah, so it's forever.
That's so lovely.
It's forever. Yeah,
Yeah.
and Rose is saying the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before I go to the next one, let me just share the Chris Graham message. It's quite
Oh,
one unforgettable memory for me was the Millennium Dome on that night. Oh, 1992,
No.
2000. Friends who had worked in rehearsal for 5 months so finally performing the millions of spectators, the LSS 86 dancers, oh my gosh, was the largest
very
carnival
big.
garden event. It was spectacular, so emotional.
Chris.
Yes.
Chris, we love you.
Amazing.
Oh,
And I
love you, Chris.
And I remember Chris Graham on the Hooligan Club, the Hooligan Park events was always amazing, was always prime. She organized events as wow,
Mm,
as very pro.
it was amazing. Yeah, I did a few good shows with her.
And you, Lilica, ups and downs of the dancing industry for you.
I'll start with the downs because then the only way is up. So
The
I
only
will.
ways.
Very
I do
true.
not. I
I
still.
love that.
I still. Tell you what I like and I don't like. I do not like entertainment or what they call animation. This thing of going to the public and asking people to dance and entertain them and make them dance, I do not like it. If I have it, I am the person on earth. I still don't enjoy that. I think people should come to dance when they want, how they want, and everything. So I don't like that duty. I don't think it's part of a dancer's duty. I think you are an animator or an entertainer if you want to be. But anyway, part of the job. So another thing I liked is dancing in clubs. And like Baya was saying, but also not just around the tables, but clubs itself, and also
Crowded,
when we
no?
used to have to go on the yeah, and plus it's not a stage. I like stage because I was trained, so I like stage, and I like that. I think as a dancer, we deserve the whole caboodle, the whole thing. But I don't like to dance normally on the counters of the bars. Sometimes we had to go on top and dance there. Yeah, it's quite fun and everything, but sometimes I don't like that. What I love most about shows is the traveling with the people, my colleagues, my friends, my family, my whoever that is there, the musicians, all the mingling. I like the staying in the hotels, but the shows itself is like when we go on stage and we rehearse and we do the pre-show and we see the changing rooms, and especially if you go to places where you have a good stage, good light,
Yeah,
and then
let's
Yeah.
make
and but
together.
one thing I must say, our generation has, and guys, because I've gone through all the generations, I would say since Xavier, the first Lam Brazil show until now, I'm probably one of this, like Xavier, probably one of those people, because Xavier as a musician, he's still there, but as a dancer, I'm probably one of the few that are there from all the generations. And I have to say, our generation had the beauty of being together and sharing. And like Sharon used to share all her clothes, we all did. And to be
Yeah.
honest, I must say that one of the people that I have to say I honor, and I would not have done my career without, because in the beginning I used to borrow her costume all the time, and that person is here and is Baya. I used to wear Baya's costume all the time because I didn't have a costume. So whenever I had a show and she wasn't using it, I used to come and buy. So thank you, Baya, because you really, really, really helped me in the beginning. So and then after that, I got my first costume from Chris from her group, was Alba's. So it was funny because our generation shared. We
Yeah.
helped each other. We used to help each other doing the costumes. We used to, we had such short time to change. We used to just look after each other and encourage each other. And on stage, if someone made a mistake, we sometimes used to make the same mistake so they would look good, and things. And I find that the new generation hasn't got that. I think everybody's
It's
very
true.
self-centered and think, well,
Yeah.
I missed that.
That's
But
true.
obviously you adapt.
Very
But
true.
everybody's like, you their costume and they've got the competition there that we didn't used to. Of course, there was competitions and other stuff there was other stuff in our generation, but I miss that. I miss that. So I love that
But it's
camaraderie
true. But
we used to have.
even as women, I think we used to help each other. I mean, we used to lend
Each other,
even
yeah,
dresses to go out. Rosa, how many times I call Rosa? Rosa, do
yeah,
you have a
we
dress?
did,
I'm going
yeah,
out to lend
we
me, and I would go to her place, try her dresses, and I'd go out with Rosa's dress
and
or someone
shoes and
else's,
everything. Yeah,
and
true.
we would borrow
Christina and I
things
used to
between
do
us with
that.
I
Lily. Yeah,
Yeah, I just thought it was really funny as an English woman teaching Brazilians how to do bikinis, or or
Yeah.
splendor, or whatever,
Yeah,
and teach
yeah.
them this is how you do it, and I get them all sitting in my house sewing, making them put the pailleté, every single sequin,
Yeah.
yeah,
This,
That was
this
hard.
was a good point for Lily saying that because the new generation they don't know how is this sharing changing room
Yes.
environment, né? And we
No.
all
Yeah.
there. I'm from the second maybe generation, and I was everything that I know on the stage was came from Eddie Milson, from Eddie, and came from Rosa. They told me
Yeah.
everything what to
Yeah.
do, and even the costume, the first costumes as well. And yeah,
Yeah.
these people.
yeah.
Oh, Nicole, how was for you? How was for you the ups and the downs of the dancing?
Well, the up is definitely the feeling of dancing. Like Lambada was like, just that feeling of being, dancing with an amazing partner. I mean, Xavier, I have to say, he was my first
Mm.
dancing partner, and he taught me so much. And he was just like, that feeling when you're dancing and you're in tune with, that you don't get that if you don't dance. And so that's definitely the high, as well as the beautiful people and extended family that I met also, that carried me through a difficult time in my life. So it was like my kind of go-to happy place for a long time, and I do miss it. I really do as well. It's like, what did Rosa say, Nicole? I
lend
mean,
me
oh
lots of
yeah,
costumes.
exactly. Rosa and I had a dance group as well, and we used to dance at the bank every Tuesday, and then and that was fun. But it was it's one of those places. Just the owners would hope that by having a Brazilian dance group that it would get busy, right? And it would, these places would only last a certain amount of time, and you knew that after a while it wasn't the place to be anymore, and they'd close.
We used to
But
borrow
no,
the clothes from the Lily Tropical as well at that
yeah,
time.
yeah, exactly. And then Rosa went back to Brazil, and she gave me her place dancing in Bar Madrid, and then Karina got her a place dancing at the bank with us on a Tuesday. That went on for a while. But I guess for me, going back to the question, the lows are, was the politics. I have to say there were politics in that time. Um, and it was horrible to be around. So there was this high from the dancing and doing the shows and being on stage, but there was some politics, so that was the part I don't miss, definitely.
No,
I
none
wouldn't
of
change
But
us.
the politics, Nicole, wasn't so much between the dancers. It was
No, not
more
between.
between the managers, the owners of the groups, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, for example, I'm gonna say I had a problem with Yes Brazil. I didn't have a problem with anybody else, but I did had a problem with Yes Brazil because I left for personal reasons between me and them. So for that reason, I think it created a bit of things. But between the dancers, there was no problems, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree, and it happens until now.
Yeah,
This is never gonna
exactly.
end.
It's part of the the experience. But I wouldn't change it for the world.
Oh my God.
It's an amazing time, and it's so special.
I'm gonna share with you another message from Grace because she's with us. She's with
It's
us.
active.
Then there was a LSS gig to one of the top hotels in London, the Savoy, I think, for wedding, booked by the bride and groom who loved Brazilian music. The material was fantastic. Oh, that was from the other event she's saying. Halfway through the first set, and the father of the bride, an Iranian gentleman, came to me and demanded that we stop everything or he and his wife would leave. They did not like anything about the show, the music, especially the costume. Oh my god. But Chris, we had these events as well on on the Hooligan Club because we were doing a lot of noise and people were there for those carpets and jewelries. What's the name? When they make the bid for
Oh,
buying
the
some
auction, the auction.
auction.
Was that
Okay.
the Hurlingham?
Auction.
Was that the Hurlingham Club?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to
And
do shows there. I never had a problem. I never had a problem
oh,
with Hurlingham.
we had once. It was too loud for them.
So I share
Happens.
my ups and downs.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the ups first. So first of all, obviously, like you, everybody, I love dancing. I love the vibe I got. I love learning from Brazilian people how to do things and sharing that with others, not just keeping it to myself, but sharing it, making a community, and then passing it on. So what excites me is that most of my dancers, like Liliana Mesquita, Berg, etc., they all went off and formed their own groups, very successful groups, and that's brilliant. But also, what I'm very proud of is I bought and supported Olodum and Aliae. I promoted a lot of Afro-Brazilian culture and got them recognized. So then I handed it over to other people who had connections with funding so they could be really brought over properly. Because a woman, especially an English, gringa, white woman, could not have so much clout in those days because they didn't have the respect that they should have for Brazilian culture at that time, the business class, So that was really wonderful. And when I did a show with Candomblé, it was for real. I had to check who governed the head of every single dancer so they don't get full of ashe and go into trance. Because, I used to have Clyde Santos honoring me in Brazil, in communication, and getting invited to an event that would only happen once every 25 years as an honored guest because of my work I was doing in London and be on BBC Radio because of Brazilian culture, because I really wanted to honor what I've been shown. Yeah. My downside, like you say, there is politics, but that's not what I want to go on. But I put my life into this Brazilian culture, my life. So when I used to sew through the night, very, very often. And one time I remember we did about 3 big events around New Year. And I had a lot of money in my house, a lot. But it was all hidden. I went to do the next show. When I came back, somebody had broken into my house and stolen everything. And I had to call, and I had to pay for like vans, dancers, and there were big shows. So, you've got to pay for lighting, dancers, assistants, and I said, don't worry, I will pay you.
My
It will
God.
come from me, but I will pay you. And I paid every single person. But that nearly killed me because, when you really work so hard to elevate people's energy and make them happy, to have a low life come in. And they didn't just take the money. they trashed my flat doing it. You know, that was one of the lowest points in my life. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
You poor thing. That's just.
But
Before,
I love sharing, and I just thought sometimes
wow,
I think as a Brazilian probably they didn't realize how precious their culture was until they left the country. So what I was trying to do was really create a space where they could show who they really were. It wasn't just pastistas from, Copacabana. It was all the riches, maracatu, macapelé, everything we did. But getting back to your point of mixing with the tables, I controlled that with a rod of iron. I had malandros in costume, ready a nanosecond to go in. So, and I would go in as, say, Carmen Miranda, check the tables, and I say, table 8 is okay. Don't go to table 11, they're too pissed, blah, blah, blah. It was all organized. And I'd say, if one of the girls gets picked on, 2 other dancers go straight to her and surround the guy because he'll freak. I knew exactly the psychology. So it was very, very safe. So none of my dancers, my thing was, you've got to do samba, but you've got to think princess because you haven't got very much clothing on, so you've got to think princess. You're not in the street. This is not Rio. You've got to be princess. So yeah.
When we say that, it's very, very genuine because it's not most of Brazilians come from Brazil to Europe or in London specifically. They don't dance. They don't take part of the dancing industry. Most of them learn here. Different from the musicians. Most of the musicians here, they were musicians in Brazil. Some of them no, but it's the opposite. In the dancing industry, majority they learn how to dance samba, maracatu, lambada here in London. And sometimes we can be a little bit arrogant just because we are Brazilians, among other nationalities, and people know more than us. We have to understand that as Brazilian, I'm saying. And that's what I think makes the crash a little bit on my generation. When people from Brazil come and they make the illusion that they are professionals and they are not. And when they face the Europeans, they are already ahead with techniques, with this and that. Should find the balance, no? The roots and the technique and the professionalism and whatever. Because I myself, I was a passista in School of Samba that's completely different from a samba show. Stage and street dancing is absolutely different. And I learned a lot from my partners from Maceió. And I learned even how to dance samba for crowd on a stage. And this is very important what you're saying. The Brazilian culture is itself mixture, is itself a bunch of other influences. There is no such a thing that is just a Brazilian. Brazil is African, Brazil is Italian, Brazil is Portuguese, Brazil is Indian, not the Brazilian proper. So when we cross the ocean, it's a good point.
Can I share something very quickly with you? When I launched my group in '87, there was the Encontro de Samba de Europa, so the Encounter of European Samba at the South Bank, and I'd helped Alan Heyman organize that. And we did our presentation, and we won first, second, and third prizes. I was so proud of my girls because I'd gone through a lot of difficulty at that time, and it was just so amazing to be acknowledged, and then on television being acknowledged by ITV News, because it just thought, we've done it, we've actually done it.
As Vicente Luis is asking, do you guys, can start with you, Sharon? What's the best Brazilian song you dance that you cannot stop every time you listen?
Oh my God, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I love it.
Beautiful.
It makes me cry because I'm saying, I não tenho vergonha de ser feliz. I'm not going to be ashamed of being happy.
Okay. Oh yeah, Gonzaguinha.
Yeah.
Sim. And you, Bayan?
Me, there are so many. I love the song Tomolodum. I love Hoje Sou Feliz eu canto, I love MPB, bossa nova, but since it's Vicente who asked the question, I'm going to choose a song that reminds me of him because we used to dance a lot, me and him. I love partying with Vicente. And it's Lança Perfume for you, Vicente.
Oh,
It reminds me so much
my
of
God,
you.
yes.
And you,
I've done so many
Bettina,
times to that. Oh my God.
what's the favorite song for dancing, Bettina?
Well, I can't recall the names of much, although but I'd say something Verde y Rosa.
Something what?
Verde y Rosa.
Verde
Mangueira.
Rosa. Mangueira.
Oh, Verde Rosa Mangueira. All right.
Yeah.
Mangueira. Oh, yeah. Sambas from Mangueira always up.
Really good.
Cristina, for you.
I have so many. I can't really think of any in particular, but I think probably the ones who marked me more, Kawama.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
same for me. I'm the same. Every time you hear the beginning, you know,
Yeah.
I get that little heart pull.
Oh, but for me, it's sorry, I didn't realize it's like
I still dance it with my little grandniece.
I say samba reggae. You know, when I hear the samba reggae, I just have to go. I just have to go. Oh my God.
And I think for everyone who danced with Yes Brazil, I'm sure you all have that music, Brazil, na 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 na, because we all done that choreography.
Carmen
With the
Miranda.
cake, yeah, with the cake.
Yeah.
But
Carmen
you
Miranda.
can't be the batucada. You know, when you go in the quadra and you suddenly hear the whistle, pelvic arrepiada. You know, your hair stands on end. I go, yeah! You know, you start screaming, and then I just go crazy. I go crazy. You know, I love it.
For you, Lilica, what's your favorite? The one you cannot stop?
Well, I had two. I like I used to like Diga espelho meu, e há na
Oh,
avenida
yes.
alguém mais feliz que eu. A minha alegria. I used to love dancing to that song in Yes
Yeah.
Brazil. So that was one of my first samba enredos. I loved it. The choreography was beautiful, and the song, and even today when I listen to it, it's just warm my heart. And then I like a lambada song, which I loved dancing in the clubs. Was Preta, fala pra mim.
Beto
Beto
Barbosa.
Barbosa, fala o que você
Yeah.
sente por mim. Oi, oi, oi. Adoro essa música. Gosh, that is for me. That's lambada in you know, in your heart. And it's Bar Madrid and all the all the drops and all.
Beautiful memory.
Yeah, those are the two for me.
Actually,
Yeah.
you talking about Lilia, you talking about Bar Madrid and Nicole. It's really brought back memories because of it. Oh my God, it used to be so sweaty, and I was always struggling with a huge trunk of costumes in a taxi to get there, drag it down the stairs. You know. Oh my God,
Sharon, I can't believe you were in Bar Madrid. I never see you.
Loads of photographs, loads of. We used to do everything in Bar Madrid. Passista, Frevo.
But when did you start
place?
going to Bar Madrid,
All the
Sharon?
small stuff. I couldn't do the big stuff with the big costumes because we got two bigger costumes. We have to do those in practice in ballet studios and then do it on shows. But,
when did you stop going to Bar Madrid, Sharon? When did you stop?
When it closed. I think it closed, didn't it? We all started going.
It's funny. I don't remember you.
Guayabada. I don't know why. I never got into going to Guayabada.
Before I go to the last round, we are reaching 2 hours and it's passed like this. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
But before that, let me just ask. It's my personal curiosity. Nicole, you're the samba dancer, or you were everything?
No, only lambada, really.
Only lambada.
Yeah, I did some samba shows and little choreographies, but I was by no way anywhere near you guys. You were like my heroes. I did practice, but it was lambada that was my thing, and that's what I fell in love with lambada.
Beautiful. I just must say that since I started this project of live streams with my network, with my friends in Brazil, and then my friends who are engaged on the Brazilian culture in London and entrepreneurs or whatever. It's been one of my pillars during this pandemic situation. It's been my rock doing all these lives and being in contact with everyone. I never been in so much contact with my friends since this pandemic started. And this specific dance reunion for me is kind of an archive. We are rewriting the history of the Brazilian scene in London, and somehow it's gonna come up in a different thing and hopefully bigger. And I could not let all these ladies here and also other ones that are coming up next from this earth, from above this sky, and all these skies in Europe who join us and built up all these Brazilian culture extravaganza in London. Kaoma started all of this, exporting the Brazilian song to Europe, and then the School of Sambas in 90s and 2000, even bigger. And myself, as a carnival fever guy, when I came to London and I met London School of Samba and Paraíso and all this rich history from all you guys, I felt really lucky, guy, to learn every day with all these influences that you guys bring on your background. And now listen to all these histories, all these journeys. It's unbelievable how it makes me think that I did the right choice. This is my tribe. This is my group. And you guys being non-Brazilian and with the importance that you had, I totally agree with Xavier and Giovanni. We have to cheer up for all of you for doing the great job you've done. Thank you so very much for being here, sharing all of these, sharing with everybody who is watching and learning and understanding how it started. It's very important for us to know how it started. We don't know how it's gonna come up after all this craziness. We don't know if we're gonna come back to normal. But one thing we know, how it started. And because of those live streams, now makes sense for me. And I'm very, very, very honored that you guys are saying yes. You guys came up and I cannot not include. Um, I made a banner also for them because they are so special for me as well. I could not say Rosangela with the group Acorda Povo, how important she was on this country for the Brazilian culture. And of course, our stars, Magda and Shuya, that were absolutely a big stamp on our history, on our lives, and it's gonna be forever. And happiness, dancing, samba, glitter, feathers, and those two beautiful women are with us forever. And that's it. I would love to say to you and hug you all, but I can't. And this is from my side. My thank you very much as a Brazilian, as a dancer, and as a London entertainer in somehow. Thank you very much for all of you being here with me, sharing all of this with these
Thank
girls.
you. Thank
Thank
you.
And
Thank you, Rodrigo,
Thank you
for
for the
all the
And
great.
apologies for
memories.
coming a bit late.
Yeah.
let me give you now, Sharon,
Apologies
the
for my
last
lateness.
bit. Go for us. Your last bit. What?
There are so many people to thank. I want to thank all the dancers that worked with me, people that trusted me to show them, what to do, and to embrace them and embrace me, and to share this amazing culture. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon.
And I'm going to make my thank you publicly because I want to thank someone who trusted me from the beginning, who gave me this opportunity when I doubted myself very much and I wanted to give up everything. And it's Maite. Everything started for me because of her. So I want to say a big, big thank you to her.
Oh, I say, it's
Yay.
beautiful.
Bettina,
Sorry, I wasn't prepared there.
Your last bit. Your last thing.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to say. Um, can I come back a bit in a minute?
Sure.
Oh,
Of
so
course.
beautiful, Bettina.
Nicole, my baby.
Oh my God, it's all the people, Xavier, Rosa, Christina, Sharon. I mean, we knew each other not really well, but we were definitely, around at that time. And, I'm really close friends with Xavier and his wife. And so for me, it's like provided me with, the dancing, the memories, it's just a beautiful memory and something I'm really proud to have been part of. So yeah, that's it for me.
Tamara, my love, thank you for building up that beautiful group out of London as well. And Lilika.
And Giovanni.
Yeah.
Well,
Lilika.
obviously, everybody that is here, I've worked with, apart from Sharon, I believe. And yes, I want to say thank you to everyone, and I still want to say thank you to the groups that I'm still working today, like Tropicalia. But I think I worked with everybody. I've worked with LSS, I've worked with Cristina, her Delirio Tropical. I've worked with Yes Brazil. Obviously, was my first group that showed me in. I honor every single dancer, every single musician, every single organizer that provided us with the group, with the platforms to work. And and I'm still doing it. So I think I hold the torch for all of you. So I hope I'm still making you guys proud of being foreigners, but
Absolutely.
foreign to the country, but with a culture in our hearts, and we represent the Brazil culture, I hope. And yes, so I want to just say thank you to everyone and to the continued. And I hope you guys, carry on, doing whatever you're doing right now in a nice way. So thank you, Rodrigo, for inviting me here. That was lovely.
Yes, thank you,
And
Rodrigo.
that's it.
You're
Passing my
amazing.
basket.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Rosa. You're one of my and Xavier.
Oh my day.
And Christina.
Maite.
Well, first of all, thank you, Brazilians, to be the way you are, so that we could represent you here, to be so glamorous and so energetic and so always so happy, So thank you for that first, and then thank you to everyone who were with me during that time, and that they still now. Some of them, a lot of them, we still very good friends, very close friends. I mean, and that's it. Really, thank you. It was fantastic, and I would do it all over again.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Delícia, delícia. E Bettina,
And I'm
Bettina.
going to go there, isn't it? I'm going to go there very soon to Brazil.
And I'm coming to see
So
you.
good.
Yeah, we are coming. I want to say thank you as well to Chris for taking me to India, to Rosa Nazira, to Karina, to Yes Brazil, Natasha, Tony, Viramundo, everyone that I forget about, Chris, everyone.
Yeah.
And especially to you, Rodrigo.
Oh,
Especially
my baby.
for doing all
Yeah,
this together.
definitely, Rodrigo.
I'm so glad to
Definitely.
meet you, Rodrigo, because I didn't know you, but I know all the gang,
Yeah.
Viral Mood and everything, and Lily Masquita. We used to all together because, like you said, we used to work together. But it's great to find this spirit alive now, because, like it was pointed before, people seem to be a little bit with themselves because it's the stress of being in the now. But you can do so much by yourself, but if you work as a team, you can achieve miracles.
Absolutely.
And thank
That's
you,
it.
Sharon, because the Lady Tropical started with your costumes. Without them, we couldn't. Thank you.
I sewed that one on the way to my first trip to Rio. I sewed that red costume on the way to Rio. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
And before we say goodbye, Bettina, yourself, a kiss?
So I wouldn't. I don't say the names because I would be too scared to forget it. One. And also everyone that I encountered was so precious, even though maybe it was just one. So, but I'm very grateful for the Brazilian culture and the Brazilian people. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my baby. Thank you. So tomorrow, I invite you all to come back to this channel, today's meeting. We have another dance reunion. Part 4 is gonna be Zaza Xavier, Marcos Olian, Giovanni Pasquale, and who else wants to come
Let's
up?
get Edson Bispo.
Edson
You
Bispo,
should
I
get
just
Felipe
contacted
as
him.
well.
Oh yeah, Felipe.
Felipe
Yeah.
couldn't come.
I'll put you in touch.
Felipe couldn't come. Other ones, I have called 20 guys for those 2 dates, for tomorrow and for Saturday 20th. Some of them is gonna be on this Saturday as Giovanni Ferrari, Geraldo Soares. I have spoke with other ones, but there were a few of them they couldn't come. For the moment, it
Beto
is.
Dalto! What about Beto Dalto, gente?
Who?
Oh yes, Beto.
Beto Dalto!
That's the
Give
most
me the number.
important.
Give me the number. Or just invite him. I give the link.
I will
I'm
give you.
giving
I'll
some
give
more as
the
well.
musician. He's in Salvador. He's in Salvador, but he's still a musician that is actually composing at the moment.
Yeah, he's brilliant. Beto Dalto and
Beto
Marcos
Dalto.
Barbosa. Yeah, there's some really good ones.
Boa, boa.
So many that you start
I
popping
know.
up.
Rodolfo, a Karina está falando Rodolfo, é verdade que tem que chamar o Rodolfo.
Rodolfo!
Sorry, I was talking
Oh my
Portuguese.
God.
Rodolfo, é verdade.
Rodolfo.
Rodolfo.
That's
Eu mando
well,
tudo pra
guys.
você.
I
Madrid.
Give me the link.
Oi,
Glenn, give me the
Rodolfo,
link.
Madrid.
And they are here tomorrow.
Okay.
Beijos.
Eu
Thank you
amo
very much.
vocês.
Have a good night.
Guys,
Bye, everyone.
Obrigado,
Bye.
Rodrigo.
Bye.
Obrigado.
bye
To see you.
everyone.
Próxima.
Bye.
Vamos sambar.
Ciao.
Thank you.
Olá,
Bye.
Mara.
Ciao, amores.
Thank you.
Here we go. Slowly, slowly. Bye. Beautiful, guys. It's such a great time, isn't it? I had a big time for myself. And tomorrow, I'm not saving energy. Tomorrow is going to be another one because those guys, they don't behave themselves. It's going to be amazing. Thank you very much. I see you tomorrow for another Shot I Cinco de Churro. Bring your tea or bring a drink and Dance Reunion Part 4. Beijo, love you. See you tomorrow.